Good Tuesday evening, January 14th, and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Here are a few of the stories we have coming up for you tonight. A Wenatchee man who chose to burn debris on his property just outside city limits was fined $5,000 for the act. A Wenatchee driver who struck and severely injured a pedestrian in 2023 has received a jail sentence. Warmer weather on tap by the end of the week, and then Arctic air sets in for the weekend. I'll have your local weather forecast straight ahead. A day and a half of deliberation in the case of Travis Earl Collins yielded a verdict this afternoon. Guilty on all counts in the murder of Julio Cesar Garcia-Ramirez. The Douglas County jury heard 4 days of testimony and took up the case Monday morning. They convicted the 35-year-old Collins just before 1 p.m. today. He's been jailed since February after police found Garcia shot to death and lying next to his idling truck in the 1700 block of Rock Island Road outside East Wenatchee. Sheriff's investigators say Collins arranged to buy cocaine from Garcia and murdered him at their arranged meeting place. Although the weapon was never found, jurors found Collins guilty today of first and second degree murder, first degree assault, and robbery. Superior Judge Brian Huber said he will schedule sentencing for the case at a later date. The Washington legislature began its 2025 term Monday with several new faces, including 2 legislators from North Central Washington. Keith Gaynor took the oath from Chief Justice Deborah Stevens to become the 12th District's newest state senator. Over in the House, former Chelan County Sheriff Brian Burnett was among the new representatives sworn in. Burnett was elected to Gaynor's former seat alongside veteran Representative Mike Steele. The House and Senate must cope with a number of issues this session, including a budget gap that could be as large as $12 billion. Governor-elect Bob Ferguson has proposed budget cuts for most state departments to begin addressing the problem. A Wenatchee man who chose to burn debris on his property just outside city limits was fined $5,000 for the act. The Washington Department of Ecology said it levied the fine against Lance A. Hansen, who was found to be burning material in both a burn barrel and a pit on his land. Outdoor burning is illegal in the Wenatchee urban growth area and throughout Chelan County under certain conditions. Hansen was among 16 people or entities fined during the third quarter of 2024. The department says it only issues such penalties for particularly serious violations or when prior warnings are ignored. 2 mountain peaks north of Wenatchee will be known as their traditional names now after a decision by the State Board of Natural Resources. According to NCWLIFE media partner the Wenatchee World, McCall Mountain, which is 54 miles north of Wenatchee, and Crook Mountain will be renamed Goat Mountain and Huckleberry Mountain. The restored names more closely align with the English translations of their indigenous names. The mountains were previously named after U.S. soldiers who participated in the Yakima War of 1858 and were involved in the White River Massacre. The board said the names were developed in consultation with the Colville Confederated Tribes and the board's Committee on Geographic Names. When we come back, the diversity of the Wenatchee Valley will be celebrated this Martin Luther King Jr. weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. And Washington's managed lands are often closed seasonally for migrating mule deer, and the Methow Valley Wildlife Area is no exception. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
When getting the job done right is job one, you need construction equipment that's built right. With durable Kubota engines, more comfort, and the versatility to do it all. You need the Kubota construction lineup. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $4,000.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
A Wenatchee driver who struck and severely injured a pedestrian in 2023 has received a jail sentence. 61-year-old Ward Godfrey Larson pleaded guilty to a DUI charge in Chelan County District Court, as well as a felony count of vehicular assault. He was arrested in September 2023 after running down a man on foot in the 1000 block of Poplar Avenue while driving a 2000 Chevy Silverado pickup. The accident left the pedestrian with fractured vertebrae and broken ribs. Police said Larson's blood alcohol was 0.15% at the time of the accident. On Monday, Judge Travis Brandt sentenced Larson to 3 months on work release for the vehicular assault plea, in addition to the suspended sentence he received in October for the DUI charge. The diversity of the Wenatchee Valley will be celebrated this Martin Luther King Jr. weekend at the Wenatchee Valley Museum and Cultural Center. The museum's Multicultural Fest is free and will be a display of the cultural and heritage groups represented within the community. Performers and speakers include Eastmont High School's Mariachi, Wenatchee High School Mariachi, Ondair Academy of Irish Dance, Wenatchee High School Folklorica Club, and tribal leader Randy Lewis. The Indigenous Roots and Reparation Foundation will join the festivities by hosting an outdoor salmon bake, which will be available to all patrons by donation. The event will run from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and include the Wenatchee Valley Uplift Awards, which will recognize the civil and social contributions of individuals and organizations at 11 a.m. Washington's managed lands are often closed seasonally for migrating mule deer, and the Methow Valley Wildlife Area is no exception. Some units within the area are closed until March 31st to allow the animals safe passage. Areas affected including portions of the Texas Creek, Golden Doe, Big Buck, Methow, and Rendezvous units. Mule deer rely on their winter range to survive harsh seasonal conditions. Coming up next, Wenatchee city officials said city parks saw an uptick of vandalism in 2024. In tonight's feature story, we will tell you what the city may be forced to do because of it. Arctic air is coming our way this weekend with the coldest temperatures of the season expected. I'll tell you how cold we'll get in your full local weather forecast coming up. That and much more still to come tonight. Please stay with us.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
Stay warm this holiday season with the latest high-quality fashions from Vuori, Patagonia, and North Face. Lake Chelan Sports has a huge selection with boots and gloves to match. Find it in downtown Chelan.
Walking on Wooden is Chelan's newest casual boutique. Update your wardrobe with the latest casual fashions from Johnson & Murphy, Free People, and UGG. Look for WOW on Wooden Avenue in downtown Chelan.
You're invited to celebrate Winterfest at Lake Chelan. Enjoy sparkling lights, local wine tasting, and fun for all ages. It's a great time to start a new holiday tradition at Washington's Winter Wonderland. More information at lakechelan.com.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
When you think of Doghouse Motorsports, you might think of motorcycles, but there's a lot more in this house. How about Honda power equipment? From snow blowers to lawnmowers to generators and even water pumps, Honda is the brand that sets the standards. Perhaps you need an ATV or UTV. The Doghouse has the largest selection anywhere. Did we mention watercraft and snowmobiles? And of course, we have motorcycles too. Back it up with terrific customer service and you have Wenatchee's best motorsports store 5 years running. Isn't it time for you to be in the Doghouse?
Wenatchee city officials said city parks on uptick of vandalism in 2024. Last year alone, Lincoln Park was heavily vandalized 2 times. In tonight's feature story, NCWLIFE's Dan Kuntz spoke to City Parks Recreation and Cultural Services Director Dave Erickson about the idea of possibly closing public park restrooms permanently to decrease the rate of vandalism.
The new Lincoln Park has been a rousing success. The folks who live in the Lincoln Park area are loving the park. When it snows, they love the hill. The significant investment of time and time, a lot of time, took a long time, and there's still some stuff to be done, and money, and yet still the issue of vandalism in the restrooms is there again. You want to address that?
Yeah, truly. I wish I didn't have to, but yeah, truly. So the community and state grants, and we put in over $3 million to improve the park, new restrooms, splash pad, play equipment, pump park, all kinds of new elements down there. And the restrooms are a continued target. So oftentimes if you go to the park and see the restrooms are closed, it's not because we're being mean, we don't want you to use them, it's because somebody has destroyed them. So this latest incident, about a month ago, I think it was, someone lit the garbage can on fire in the bathroom. And these are plastic 55-gallon garbage cans. So when that plastic burns, it goes all over everything, and it coats everything in this black goo, basically. And then they also decided that the stall partitions, they didn't like those, so they kicked all those down as well. So we're in the process of trying to repair that damage. We may have to re-sheetrock the inside to get it completely back to where it was. So we do budget about $10,000 a year for vandalism repair, just because over the last few years, vandalism has just gone off the charts in all the parks, not just Lincoln Park. And so that helps cover that. But in this particular case, it's not enough for our insurance to cover, for do an insurance claim. So we'll either have to just take it out of our regular operating budget between us and facilities, or we'll have to go for an actual different appropriation to get it fixed.
What's the final, I mean, could it get to the point where you're just going to say, I'm sorry, park users, we're not going to have any more public restrooms?
It could be, yeah. Actually, we're going to, if we have time at our upcoming Arts Rec and Park Commission meeting, we're going to discuss restrooms.
Well, you and I have talked about this problem, excuse me, in the past. It was usually a summertime problem. Days are longer, kids aren't going to school, they get bored, they do stupid stuff. Now it's a year-round problem.
It is, and it's really picked up the last probably 3 to 4 years. It's just gone to levels that you wouldn't really normally expect. I think it was last year or year before. We're looking at about $130,000 to $160,000 a year we spend on just repairing vandalism, not just restrooms, but other things in the parks as well. So that's a pretty significant budget hit, when you're looking at our overall budget.
Well, maybe maybe if that becomes the case, and you're going to have to go and say, we're just going to have to close all the public restrooms in the parks, then the people in the neighborhoods where these parks are will step forward and say, these are our neighborhood parks. We want to help you out, be it Lincoln or Pennsylvania or Washington or Chase or wherever. There are neighborhood parks in the neighborhoods. It's the neighborhood people who are utilizing the parks. Maybe that'll finally push them over the edge to become more stewards of it.
Yeah, it may help. And we've done a park watch, like a block watch program before with limited success. We brought in hired security. And so we have contracted security in some places. That program, we're looking at changing that, maybe doing a park ranger program that's been talked about. And we have security cameras and have done other things like improved lighting and removed obstacles where people can hide and things like that. So we're doing all these environmental design things that we can, and still working on trying to do those other things to help limit it.
Time now to take a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you had a fantastic Tuesday. Boy, nice mid-January day out there. We saw a mix of clouds and sun, and look at outside our weather window from this afternoon. This up at Lake Wenatchee. It almost looks like a painting with the beautiful reflection off Lake Wenatchee. And of course, Kaler Glen, I always have to remind you of that right in front of the lake. But beautiful day up in the upper elevations. Good visibility for once, and we haven't seen that in a while, but we're going to warm up as we get into the end of the week, and then Arctic air is going to move down from Canada this weekend right through Monday. We are talking high temperatures, at least for us in the Wenatchee Valley, mid to upper 20s with lows in the single digits in some locations, and we will be in the teens. So this is our coldest weather of the season so far, and it's coming this weekend. Today's high temperature, a lot like we should be for this time of year, 35 degrees. 33 is our normal high temperature, and 57 is our record set back in 2011. 23 this morning, that's actually 1 degree below where we should be for a low temperature. That's our coolest temperature so far this season. 4 degrees below zero, our record, and that was set once again last year. Last year, we've had 3 records in a row now, and today, no different. Sunrise is 7:44 this morning, and it's set this afternoon at 4:37. All right, getting you into those Wednesday temperatures, things are going to start to warm up a little bit, as I mentioned, into the upper 30s for the Columbia Basin tomorrow. Moses Lake, Ephrata, and Quincy all at around 38 degrees. 37s for Wenatchee, Eniat, and Chelan. Also mid-30s for Leavenworth and Cashmere. Cool spot Lake Wenatchee tomorrow at 33 degrees. All right, tonight we can expect patchy fog to develop. We really didn't see that this morning like we thought we might, so we'll keep our eye on that. Still, a weak area of high pressure off the coast is creating a nice ridge of high pressure for us, and that high right here is the one that's bringing all the wind into the Los Angeles area. Hopefully, over the next 24 hours, that will move away. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies in the afternoon, mid to upper 30s for your high temperatures. And then when we get to Thursday, we'll see a nice warm up. Mostly cloudy skies, a bit breezy right through central Washington on Thursday. But as I mentioned, a warm up. We'll see highs on Thursday right around 40 degrees. Pretty much the same goes for Friday as we get you into the end of the week. Lots of sun all around Washington state. Still a weak ridge of high pressure over us, but that is going to go away quickly as we get into Saturday. Enjoy that. High temperatures near 40 Friday afternoon. By Saturday, high pressure will slide just a bit to the north, and we will see a big trough of low pressure dip down through the center part of the country, and we're going to catch part of that as we're going to cool down into the low 30s with partly cloudy skies on Saturday, and overnight lows about 19 for Saturday. On Sunday, it's deceiving. Lots of sunshine up and down the west coast, but it's going to be a cool one. We are going to struggle just to see 30 degrees for our high temperature Sunday afternoon, and it's going to be even a little bit cooler than that on Monday as we continue with that deep trough of low pressure. Sunny skies, high temperatures Monday. These are highs in the upper 20s. All right, your 7-day forecast now. 29 overnight tonight. Morning fog giving way to mostly sunny skies tomorrow. About 37 your high temperature. Here's our warm days. Thursday and into Friday. 40 for Thursday with a little bit of wind. 39 should be a beautiful day on Friday. And then that Arctic air moves our way. Partly cloudy and 32 Saturday. Sunday, 31 your high temperature, and notice Monday, 29 your high and 14 the overnight low. And that's a look at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Let Mary Maid's custom cleaning experts help you clean up your to-do list. Between work, kids, and pets, it's hard to find time to keep up. Let Mary Maids of Wenatchee help. Mary Maid's cleaning experts can help keep your home or business fresh, neat, and exactly how you'd clean it, if only you had the time. Call now for a free estimate, 509-663-1710. Serving Chelan and Douglas counties, Mary Maids, let us help.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Mary Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel. Happy Tuesday. The Seattle Kraken are trying to bounce back from a big loss on Sunday. They're in Pittsburgh tonight. PPG Paints Arena is the location for tonight's NHL game between Seattle and Pittsburgh, which is being broadcast on Kong TV. Well, Haley Van Lith is on the court again in Big 12 women's basketball today. Haley's TCU Horned Frogs have risen in the rankings, that is, to 10th nationally as they host the University of Central Florida today. That game's available on ESPN+. NCWLIFE channel will broadcast 6 Wenatchee Bighorns games this spring. Following months of discussions, NCWLIFE will partner with the Bighorns to bring half of their home games this season at W.B. Smith Gym at Wenatchee Valley College to our viewers. Wenatchee begins its third season in the Basketball League, or TBL, March 1st against Willamette Valley. New head coach Matthew Riley was in Wenatchee last month talking about the type of team he's assembling for this season.
We're putting together a team that's high character, putting a team that we always say horns up, horns tough. We want to be tough. We want to come in and have high character. Want to come in and be with community guys that are capable of playing on the court, but as well as just being good guys off the court. We're going to be up and down. Basketball is entertainment, of course, so we're not going to come down. We have a 24-second shot clock, so we're going to try to come down, make good passes to our teammates, share the ball, and just be exciting. Run, jump, dunk, all of the above. So we want to be exciting and to give the community a good presence. As soon as they come out the car, Ms. Sean talks about it all the time, as soon as they come out the car, we want to have a good experience on and off the court, as well as the basketball games, the community, things like that too. So we want to be in the community. We want to be in the school systems. Just recently, on Saturday, we went to the AAU to see Wenatchee, to each grade and things like that, to see those young men and young girls just go out and compete. We want to be involved with that day-to-day basis. We're here in Wenatchee, so I came all the way from the East Coast to always come over here, so I want to be involved as much as I can, us and the players, the community, and the organizations as well.
Grant Olson will be courtside for the play-by-play as NCWLIFE brings you 3 games in March, 2 in April, another in May. Wenatchee is a member of the 10-team Western Conference of the TBL and will play 12 games at WVC this season. Season tickets are on sale now. Go to WenatcheeBighorns.com to find out more. Well, the Wenatchee Wild are trying to recover from a rough weekend in Western Hockey League play. After falling Friday to Victoria 5-2, Wenatchee was crushed 12-2 by Spokane on Sunday. Austin Drade was on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with Dan Kuntz this morning, saying a big trade by the Chiefs has made them one of the toughest teams in the conference.
Good first line, to say the very least. They've got a first-round draft pick on the front line in Berkeley Catton. He's a Seattle Kraken draft pick, almost made the team this year. Andrew Crystal's a second-round draft pick for the Washington Capitals.
He almost made the
Almost made the team this year. And then they've got the league leader in goal scoring, and Shea Van Olm. on the other wing. So those guys, they had a big night against us on Saturday, to be sure. But when you're talking about a player like Andrew Crystal, he had 340 points in Kelowna. He's their second leading scorer of all time, if I got the numbers right. And then you put him with Berkeley Catton. They both had over 110 points last year alone, each of them. And Shea Van Olm is a 20-year-old that I think is turning more heads this year than people realized he was going to. It's a group that's going to carry them a long way, to be sure.
Lethbridge will be in town on Friday as the Hurricanes sit fourth in the very competitive Eastern Conference of the WHL.
There aren't any real outliers in the Eastern Conference right now, and you look at Lethbridge, who's going to be coming in. They're right in the middle of the playoff race right now. They've got 23 wins on the season, and not quite the same record as Spokane on Saturday, but pretty close. So it's a battle out there in the Eastern Conference. Most of the teams in Alberta, you noticed Calgary especially, have really put in for the playoff race, and they're going for it. So Alberta, the Central Division especially, it's going to be a dogfight all the way home.
Wenatchee is 15-20 and in 8th place of the Western Conference standings. At the halfway point of the season, the Wild hold the final playoff spot in the conference at this point. Drade says he hopes a bunch of fans come out Friday to help with a diaper drive at the Town Toyota Center.
This is it. We saw them on the road last year. We made the trip up in November. So this time around, they make the trip down here. So it's our first chance to see them in the Wolves' Den. But coming up on Friday night, we're talking about our diaper toss. Big thanks to People's Bank for helping us put that on. So the annual diaper toss for the NCW Women's League. We'll be collecting diapers and wipes and everything that those food stamps and the supports. They cover food, but when you've got young mothers and young families, they don't cover the diapers, they don't cover the wipes. So they go to places like the NCW Women's League to get those supplies to take care of their youngest ones, and we're proud to partner with them on that. Lethbridge is a solid team. They get stronger. They score more as the game goes along. So this will be one that we really have to battle out a 60-minute victory against a team that we don't see very often.
Following Lethbridge on Friday, the Wild head for a home-and-home series against Tri-City Saturday and Sunday. After a 6:05 start time Saturday, the Wild and the AMS will drop the puck at 4 o'clock in the TTC on Sunday. There were 5 prep basketball games held on Monday in the region. Girls play. Liberty Christian beat Cascade Christian 53-38. Moses Lake Christian topped Easton 50-14. The Thorpe boys knocked off Connell 55-50. Cascade Christian got by Nespelem 48-44. Waterville Mansfield beat Garden City Academy 58-31. Girls basketball scheduled today has Wenatchee at Othello. Quincy's hosting Grandview. Prosser is visiting Ephrata. Cashmere hosts Zilla. Omak plays at Chelan. For the Bees, Okanagan visits Tonasket. Brewster hosts Manson. Liberty Bell plays at Bridgeport. Moses Lake Christian hosts Etiat. Oroville's at Pateros. Soap Lake hosts Wilson Creek, and Waterville Mansfield visits Cascade Christian. The Cascade boys host Lake Roosevelt tonight. Wenatchee's on the road at Othello. Quincy takes on Grandview. Ephrata hosts Prosser. Zilla's at Cashmere. Chelan hosts Omak. The 7:30 games tonight have Okanagan at Tonasket. Brewster's hosting Manson. Liberty Bell plays at Bridgeport. Soap Lake hosts Wilson Creek. Garden City plays at Cascade Christian. Moses Lake Christian entertains Etiat, and Oroville visits Pateros. Just one wrestling match on the schedule for tonight as Omak is hosting Okanagan. I guess you can call that the battle of the backyard on the mat. That's underway at 6. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Have a happy Tuesday.
And that will do it for our newscast tonight. For more news from around North Central Washington, you can find us at ncwlife.com, on our social media channels, or on our mobile app for iPhone and Android. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. Email us at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.
Her Royal Highness, Queen Ella Stimo!
Join NCWLIFE channel for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on Saturday, February 8th. Coverage is brought to you in part by our Platinum supporter, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Also by Harvest Valley Pest Control, Merry Maids, Together for Youth, and the Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center. Join us for live coverage of the Apple Blossom Festival Royalty Selection Pageant on your local TV station, the NCWLIFE channel.